coach that really wants to make sure that you are improving, we could even export this and share this with them, and they can make your training program based off of these heart rate zones to maximize your performance. Today, I'm going to be talking about V02 Max and how it's one of the best indicators of cardiorespiratory fitness and endurance performance potential. So if you see here, we have a mask connected to a metabolic cart down here, and it's going to measure the amount of oxygen he inhales and the amount of carbon dioxide he exhales. It will be following a set protocol. It's very important to make sure that you follow exactly what the protocol says. All right, so intensity is going to gradually increase until he reaches his maximum effort and can no longer continue. Faster now, still at an incline, and it's just going to continue to gradually increase in intensity. What I'm looking to see here is where his body switches from a fat-burning aerobic state into a carbohydrate-burning anaerobic state. All right, now he's going up to a 14-degree incline and 3.4 miles per hour. So the incline is increasing, and so is his miles per hour for now. So I'm looking to see the lactate threshold, which, as earlier I said, is when we switch from fat burning to carbohydrate burning. And the goal is to make sure that that threshold is reached as delayed as possible throughout this testing. All right, so he has now reached his threshold, which is what we're looking to see. Soon after this, we're going to look for his ventilatory threshold, which means he's transitioning over from fat burning to carbohydrate burning. But when he reaches the next threshold, which is ventilatory, that's when all the lactate accumulates, and that's when he's going to fatigue much faster. So a lot of people's wearable devices might say they're V02 Max, as opposed to this, where it's really precision of exactly what is the V02 Max. And that will help your training programs in figuring out what zones you train in. I said earlier, his test results, he starts off at 8.7, he goes to an aerobic threshold, then anaerobic threshold. This is when his body starts being like, uh-oh, we don't have that much more time, we're having lactate build up. And then if you see, his V02 Max is 51.2, which is actually very good. The only thing I would change about this is maybe, depending on what he's training for, I can figure out what zones he needs to do each training session in, which is very important for competitive endurance athletes. As you see, his score is actually superior. The metabolic cart in the software that we use will take normative data and say, okay, there's a male, this age, this height, this weight, where should he fall in terms of aerobic capacity?
Benefit from this testing would be people who just love data analysis and want to see where they are, or people who are truly training for something and want to see that their training program, that their running coach or their swimming coach or whatever endurance sport they participate in, they're actually benefiting and seeing improvements from that training program.